what is going on? What's going on the healing path? I don't know. It's a lot going on right now. Y'all, it's so much going on, but it's been a beautiful day today. Just a wonderful, beautiful day. And I got to come today and spend some time at the park. I even got a little writing done. Welcome to Simple Healing 333, where we use all resources, tools. We use everything to figure out the messages that God is trying to get to us, or that our spirit team is trying to get to us, and also just learning life's lessons, growing, healing, evolving. We use angel numbers, we use Bible verses, we use social media posts, memes, songs, movies, TV shows. We use nature. I love nature. I love Gaia, right? So, y'all, let me show y'all this painting here. Now, we're going to talk about it later, but this painting I did March 23rd of 2020. And I've posted this painting a few times. However, today, the meaning of it came to mind while I was in the shower, and the meaning of it just kind of took a deeper approach to me. So, kind of want to share that with y'all here momentarily. Y'all know it's a full moon in Capricorn. And kind of should have known the way the energy was feeling, but it also, there's so much going on right now, right? In the past couple of days, I've been finding myself like praying, like just kind of being focused on the shadow parts of myself, right? And a dream came to mind that I had, I don't know, a good 10, 11, probably like 8, 9 years ago. It's been a while. But that dream came to mind, which led me to thinking about my shadow, right? And when you think about your shadow is the parts of you that you, for most people, would prefer to keep hidden, like, it could even be addictions. I feel like the shadow part of us has a lot to do with our root chakra, and that is the power chakra of the Capricorn, okay? That's where they live. They dominantly, are in a root chakra, like that's their power chakra. They thrive in the material world, so to speak. And they also, that energy which, in tarot is like the devil card energy, deals with addictions and contracts and stuff like that. But my shadow side of me has just been something that I've been going back and forth with. So I had some time yesterday, and I realized that that's a part of me that I have been rejecting, right? It's a part of me that I have been rejecting. Like, I acknowledge it to a certain extent, but I haven't just embraced it, which is what we are to do, is embrace it, because I realize that my shadow is a part of me that I need. It's there's aspects about it that has to be balanced out, that has to be come under submission, if you will, and present itself in a healthier way. I'm gonna say that. Present itself in a way that is still going to benefit my highest good, okay? And the same for you all, your shadow side, if you pay attention to I mean, the shadow can be different for everyone. It's basically the characteristics, thought patterns, behavior patterns, things like that prevent you from moving forward, that keeps you from reaching your full potential. And this fly just came out of nowhere. I've been here for like, I don't know. I know I've been here for over an hour, but this fly didn't show up until probably about 30 minutes ago, just bugging me, just being a bugaboo. So I don't know what that's about. He just hanging around watching. Anyway, so yeah, this time, full moon time and the waning gibbous. I know a lot of people say the full moon. The full moon kind of illuminates things about us that we need to work on. It's like that light shining in the darkest corners of your heart, of your soul, like showing you the things that you need to focus on. Some of it you need to work on, some of it you need to release. And followed by the full moon is the waning gibbous, which is really the moon phase that you should be releasing. So I've never used cards before, and these are oracle cards here, and it's the Awakened Soul deck. I was in a metaphysical store and I was looking at the cards. I always look at the cards, but this deck in particular was just like tugging at me, drawing me in, and I actually really do like this deck. I remember seeing it on another channel. I can't remember what channel it was, but I remember seeing it, and I was saying I like the cards. There's one card in particular that I like, and it's the Simplicity card. It's just a beautiful card. But I wanted to draw a card today. I draw it by myself and things like that, but I've never done it. Just really out in the open. Today I want to see what is being illuminated during this full moon in Capricorn. What is being illuminated in this full moon in Capricorn? Now, I've been out here for a good while. I'm gonna have to leave in a minute. I still gotta finish dinner. What are these little, they look like wasps, but they red. I don't know what they are. Are they like red jacket wasps or something like that? What is being illuminated during this full moon in Capricorn? That's what I want to know. What is being illuminated in this full moon in Capricorn? We know the root chakra is going to be very important. Grounding is also going to be very important, which is one of the reasons I'm out here, just out here enjoying it. What is being illuminated during this full moon in Capricorn? Capricorn. And I just seen a big old horse fly. Where in the world did these flies come from? What is being illuminated during this full moon in Capricorn? That was the biggest fly. That was like a horse fly. What is being illuminated during this full moon in Capricorn? What is being illuminated during this full moon in Capricorn? I like when I come to the park, especially when I'm walking and I see people out walking around and they got their families too. I love to see it. What is being illuminated during this full moon in Capricorn? On Sundays, I usually go downtown and listen to the live music. Today, I just wanted to come to the park, get my little blanket, and sit out here. I've just been seeing so much. What is being illuminated during this full moon in Capricorn? Wow. I asked the same question yesterday. I asked the same question yesterday, and this very card came out. It's the shadow card. The shadow card. I won't do cards all the time. I just felt today, I just felt like doing the card. But that's the card that came out, and this card came out yesterday because after my meditation and stuff, I had to get ready for work, but I was like, let me pull a card, and that's the question that I wanted to ask is, what's being illuminated during this full moon? And the shadow card came out, so it came out again today. Also, I just really wanted to see, you know. I just really wanted to see. Bird over there. But yeah, so that's the shadow card there, right? I am going to read the meaning of the shadow card from this card. But as you can see, like right above her head, that's the full moon, which we are in the full moon right now. This mirror, right around her, behind her, it has the phases of the moon around the frame of it, right? And as you can also see, she has on a mask, all right? She has on a mask, and she's standing in front of a mirror, and she's also cloaked, which lets you know that, you know, there's some things about her that have been hidden, all right? Like her true, authentic being, you know, she covering up her face, right? And I don't know, but these little things right here, even though they look like feathers, they kind of remind me of horns, like with the devil card in the devil card in tarot. That's what it kind of remind me of, right? And you can see that she's holding the light, like at her center, like where her heart and her solar plexus chakra, in between there, right? Okay, let me get to what the meaning of, according to the book. Okay. So, for the shadow card, the symbol is the mask, okay, which we've seen. And it's really like a gray mask, right? So it's, when I think of like a gray area, it's like a safe space, like it's a safe space, as if, okay, well, I'm gonna just do this, I'm gonna present this part of myself just in case whoever doesn't like this other part of myself, I'm gonna just kind of, you know, for some reason I feel like that's what being lukewarm is. With that gray mask on, I kind of feel like that's what being lukewarm is, right? Anyway, the key words for this card, the shadow card, is ego, subconscious, denial, suppression, hidden gems, okay? Something about the shadow and being in the darkness, right? Because that's where you find the true light. I don't this picture has been calling out to me, even though I did it back in 2020. So let me finish this. It says, this is the story, or the story to this card. Our awakened soul stands in front of a mirror that is adorned with the phases of the moon, controlling heavenly body of our inner waters. So, you know, the moon is related to, you know, our emotions. The moon draws you in, okay? The moon like pulls you in, whereas the sun, it protrudes, okay? The moon is feminine energy. It says she is hiding under a full cape and mask. She could be anyone. She is embracing the hidden nature of our shadow side, allowing what is underneath to come forward. So you know what that means, allowing what is underneath to come forward. That means really taking off the mask and just letting everybody see, this is me, like it or not, you know. She holds a candle to give her the ability to shine a light on the darkest of places, and also in the corners of her mind and soul that are often suppressed, only coming up in dreams and whispers. Light can also create shadows, which reminds her that work of self-integration never ends. The journey never ends. The healing never ends. There's always something. You know, the brighter your light shines within, you know, it's going to present something else that's been hidden off in the shadows about yourself, right? Okay. She knows that she has the power to incorporate her shadow side by embracing it. Which, y'all, that's where I'm at, having to embrace my shadow side. Taking off the mask. This spiritual work will be a theme throughout her lifetime. It never ends. The hard times in her life, the dark night of the soul, times of grief and loss have all been times of great transformation and healing, where she has learned much about herself and what is truly important. She knows the power of the shadow side and darkness. Now, the awakened meaning for this card. There is nothing to truly fear in the darkness unless you are unwilling to really know thyself, because that's how you're going to truly discover who you are, is by going within, by facing, you know, those traumas that you wanted to keep suppressed down. Because as long as they're suppressed, as long as you choose not to face them, acknowledge them, and see how they have molded you in some way, in some aspect, there will always be that hidden aspect that is a hindrance to your forward movement, to your growth, right? You are being challenged to do some shadow work and look at those things that you hold fear around. So these are the things that you fear people will not like, or you fear you will be shunned, or you fear that you may not be good at if it's something that you want to do, right? Even as a spiritual person, you are still a human. It is okay to have flaws and to have parts of yourself that are not perfect or integrated. Own your fears, name them, write about them, find out why they trigger you. When you find out why, your ability to let these fears go increases. Ignorance is fear's best friend. So if you don't know why you respond to certain things, or you don't know why certain things trigger you, it's best to go within to find out why they trigger you. You know, sometimes people have to go to hypnotherapists to learn about these things. I mean, there's different ways. And you can ask also your spirit team. You can ask God to kind of help you bring it to your remembrance. Because a lot of things that we experience, we suppress and we just keep going, and we think we have forgotten. It's just not at the forefront. It's not in our conscious mind. It's in our subconscious mind, and our subconscious mind is what actually causes us to move. So it's not so much our conscious mind. That's why they have to be in agreement. If they're not in agreement, the subconscious mind is going to overrule what you consciously trying to do, consciously trying to think. The subconscious is going to overrule that. You know, that's why Paul said, the things that I ought to do, I ought not do, but the things that I ought not to do, those are the things that I do, is because the subconscious and the conscious are not in alignment. They're not in agreement. Anyway, this is the card of illuminating your subconscious and all of those messages that are lying underneath. The hidden motivations, dark desires, and things long forgotten. Working with lucid dreaming, past life regression, deep meditation, and soul retrieval are all types of work that can aid you as you work through this. Shadow work is ultimately about knowing yourself, which is work that never ends. Asking questions is a good place to start. So start asking yourself questions like, why do I get triggered when people do this certain thing? Or why do I get triggered when I see birds? Or why do I get triggered when I see a certain type of animal? Or why do I fear a certain type of animal and I've never had any kind of close encounter with this animal, yet I fear it? I mean, this could be a domestic animal like a dog or a cat. You know, it could be a bird, because I've met people who are afraid of birds, but they don't know why. Okay. The shadow meaning for this card, which we're not using the shadow meaning because we ask what's being illuminated during this full moon, which is the shadow card. But if this card was in the reverse, it would be denial of hard stuff, hiding your pain, not doing the work needed, and ignorance. In this case, though, it's just like in the upright, and it's just basically saying there's work. There's still more work to be done. So the affirmation here for this card is, I illuminate and accept my shadow side. In a personal reflection, this is a question that you can ask yourself, write it down, meditate on it, answer it. Write down what you get via your meditation. What fears do I hold around embracing my shadow side? What fears do I hold around embracing my shadow side? Do you wear a mask because you fear judgment? Do you fear that people will have something to say about what it is that you do or don't do, or how you look, or how you speak? You know, where you come from, the type of work that you do. What are your fears? That is the question. What fears do I hold around embracing my shadow side? I know mine. And I went through that whole spiel yesterday, and you know what? I had to take a moment and welcome back. Because my question for me, before I even pulled the card, my question for me was, why is it so hard for me to like get angry, to lash out? Like what keeps me from lashing out? What keeps me from, going there? Because every time I think to go there, I feel some kind of guilt, I guess, about it. Even though I'm in the right. So I'm like, why do I feel like that? And I was reminded of a dream that I had again some years ago. And in the dream, I met a friend, but that friend was me. And that friend was sitting on the curb. And long story short, I gave the friend a hug, and it's like we haven't seen each other in so long, so I was hugging, but they were still sitting on the curb, and I kind of just leaned over to give them a hug. And all of a sudden, I just felt like a breeze behind me. I had on a skirt. I felt like a breeze behind me, and I looked back and I seen like a group of people, and they weren't too far in the distance, but they were in the distance. And I felt like I was exposed for some reason. I felt like I was exposed. And I went to try and let the friend go so I could straighten up, because I feel like I'm exposed and this is a group of people approaching. And this friend would not let me go. This friend would not let me go. And I was tugging and pulling, and then the friend was squeezing tighter and tighter, so I'm leaned over and I'm worried about the people that's coming up on me, and I feel like I'm exposed, and I got this person that I'm hugging and I won't let go. And so I kind of moved my head around so I could look at the person's face, and they had this smirk. It was, I want to say sinister, but it wasn't evil like that. It was just like a smirk, and I'm like, what the heck are you smirking for? And I finally was able to push the person off of me. I was able to push the friend off of me, which I again tell you that friend looked like me. And I stepped back, straightened myself up, and I left. And yesterday when I was sitting there asking questions and stuff, that dream came to mind. It's like, you left it, you abandoned it, you rejected it. Like I rejected myself, I rejected that particular part of me, which is, would be a shadow, my shadow. It's crazy, but it reminds me of the movie Us. I don't know, I feel like that friend that I was hugging was a part of myself that I needed, but at the same time I felt, with that part of me, I was too vulnerable, or I was too exposed, or when it really just wanted me to embrace it. And I just left it there some years ago. So what I did was I took a moment and sat and forgave myself, okay? Forgave myself and chose to accept who I am. It doesn't matter if people think I'm different. It doesn't matter if people think I'm crazy. None of that. None of that matters. So I took a moment and embraced my shadow. I welcomed my shadow back in and just took a moment to embrace. Because I have to be whole. And we all have to be whole and accept all sides of ourselves. But the Gaia card on the bottom. It's a Gaia card. I kind of want to read what the Gaia card says. And that's my favorite card right there. My favorite card, the Simplicity card. Yep. Kind of want to read the Gaia card to y'all just because we outside. Getting dark though. Let me read the Gaia card right quick. I don't think since I've had this deck that this card has come out. But the symbol is nature for the Gaia card. The symbol is nature, which you can see she's outside in nature. She's really in a vulnerable state because she doesn't really have anything on, and you can tell by her purple hair that her crown is open, okay? And then you see the wind, surrounding her. This kind of looks like fire, but it's not. It's like a flower. that she's holding. But it does look like a flame of fire, so really most of the elements, no, all the elements are there because I think it's water in the background. Oh, wait a minute, she's in water. She's in water. Okay, she in water. I was gonna say, I see all the elements except water. Then I thought it was in the background, but she's actually in water, which will explain why she's in the nude, okay? And the fire that she's holding in her hand, I feel like is energy. Like she made a ball of energy, which, you know, is heat. Like that. Let me read it for y'all, then I'm gonna go, because video is getting long. So the symbol is nature for the Gaia card. The key words are nurture, sacred custodian, connection, healing, self-care, and motherhood. We all are born on the same planet, and on this living being, we all pass. So this is the awakened soul story for the Gaia card here. Gaia has been before we were birthed into this world, and she will be long after we are gone. She is the living memory of all the souls, civilizations, wars, languages, rituals, children, life, and death on this planet. Awakened souls have a deep connection to Gaia. We know that the way we treat our environment and the planet reflects how we feel about ourselves. We know that it is our duty to take care of her and the living beings that share this planet with us. We are her sacred custodians, and we know that it is all connected. The depiction of our awakened soul holding and being surrounded by the elements, deeply connected as one with them, shows our connection with Gaia. If you have received the Gaia card in your reading today, you are being asked to nurture yourself in a deep way. Forgiveness, forgiving yourself, accepting yourself, embracing who you are, flaws and all. Self-care can come in many forms, but it has to be something that truly allows you time and space to feel refreshed and recharged. You are being called to nurture the connection that you have with the sacred in your life, especially the sacred feminine. Again, moon energy is a feminine energy. Take time to allow this space. This is the journey of the awakened soul, being in alignment with the natural rhythms of life. The cycles of the seasons, the moon, and the magic and natural wonder that we are gifted with. This card is also a call to arms for the sacred earth warriors who are the protectors of the animals, children, and all living things on Gaia. You are being asked to put your spirituality into practice and to be of service to others. Every little action helps. Every act of love and kindness creates positive change. So, the affirmation for this card is, I am deeply connected to healing myself and Gaia. Myself and Gaia, that is me. And Gaia, that is me and the earth. However, we are also the earth. So we have the celestial being, the planet Earth, and we also are Earth. Okay? The personal reflections, this is a question that you can write down and ask yourself. What act of self-care can I carry out today? What act of self-care can I carry out today? Mine, for me, was coming out here. I got out here, you know, sometime before. I had to figure out how to edit. I accidentally stopped the video when I was trying to see the time, but I got out here sometime before 6, a little before 6, and it's after 8 now. It's going on 8:30. But you know, If you feel something coming up, if something keeps like irritating you, take a moment, step back, and ask yourself, why is this bothering me so much? Why is this triggering me so much? Why, ask yourself that question, because it just very well may have something to do with your shadow side, okay? Make sure you take time to nurture yourself. Take time to take care of your mental and emotional, your spiritual well-being, even your physical well-being, all elements. Make sure you take the time out for it. The mental being the air, the physical being the earth, the spiritual being the fire, if you will, or the energy, and the water being the emotions. All right. Take some time out for you during this full moon in Capricorn. Loving on yourself. We should accept our flaws. We should accept everything about ourselves. But, that is what I wanted to share with you guys. I've never used cards on here before. And I'm glad I did. I probably won't do that all the time, just, when I feel I'm supposed to, which we'll see. But thank you for being here today. I appreciate you stopping by. You are welcome to comment if you like to comment, and let me know if this resonates with you, or even how it resonated with you. But yes, definitely pay attention to the things that are triggering you. If you find yourself easily being upset about small, little, minor things, ask yourself why. Why is this making me feel this way? It could be something that you watch on TV and you see, and you might feel tears welling up in your eyes. Just ask yourself a question. Ask God. We'll get back to this another time. I'll probably do a video about this later, because when you acknowledge your shadows, when you embrace your shadow, it's kind of like being reborn. But as you do that, your light shines brighter as you peel back the layers that those traumas that you experienced while you was in the darkness. As you peel back those things, your light shines brighter and brighter. But there's always going to be something being illuminated by the full moon. A lot of things that are in the light now that we show people are not us. And it's causing depression, and it's causing us to be unhappy, and we're not really living. We're not really living. It's the things that we heal from while we're in the darkness that allows our light to shine brighter and thrive and be full of life, versus wearing a mask. Don't that kind of look like a face? Versus wearing a mask and not living, just existing, just, not being filled with joy because you're having to pretty much pretend. But this is like that gray area, or that lukewarmness, if you will. One more thing to say about this painting is, I told you I did this back in 2020. What's that? 4 years ago, March 23rd, 2020. And another thing that I noticed is that this is on the right. I'm sorry. Well, when I look at it this way, it's on the left, okay? It's on the left. And then this is on the right. In the world of tarot, or just spiritually, it is my understanding that the left represents the past and the right represents the future. This is something that came to me, one of the things that came to me earlier in the shower, is that this was the past. wearing a mask, being depressed, not really living, just everything is just dull. Even though I'm out, you know, that's the part that sees the light all the time. But it was in the darkness, in the shadows, that I began to thrive. And that's in the future. Let's just say present, because it is what it is. You know, in times like these with the full moon in Capricorn, those of us who deal with like a lot of root chakra stuff, things from our childhood, or things that was what's the word, ingrained or embedded in us while we were in our mother's womb. You know, those are things that we have to heal. But let me go, because I didn't have to figure out how to stitch the last video and this little part together. Thank you for watching. If it resonates with you, if you find it helpful, go on and hit that thumbs up for me. I would greatly appreciate it. You all have a good day.